Alright, hello everyone and welcome back to my Fallout 4 Mod Spotlight series, where today we are having a look at the Police Carbine mod, which is being released by user Degenerate Dak. And what this glorious little piece of work looks to add into the game is a falloutified version of the Armalite AR-180, and I surprisingly like this gun. Now, you guys know me, I generally don't like modern weaponry. If it's not wood and metal, I don't find it aesthetically pleasing. And the AR-18, which is, the basis of the AR-180, is basically the start of the modern aesthetic of rifle that I so despise. But this is a falloutified version that does have wooden furniture, and I gotta admit, even though I don't like the aesthetic of the AR-18, I can't deny its important place in history because it's effectively the basis for almost every modern assault rifle in existence today. Its internal mechanisms are still used in everything from the HK-G36 to the Chinese QBZ-95 and so many freaking more. So it is a very important gun, even if I don't care personally for its aesthetic. So let's jump on over here and have a look at what we're getting in Fallout 4 with the Police Carbine, which in its most basic and standard form will do 34 damage with a 5.56 round, with a fire rate of 91, range of 119, accuracy of 51, for a weight of 9.4. Not too bad there at all. And as you can see, I like this version of the AR-18. IRL, I would love a gun that looks like this. Oh my god, it would be wonderful. But yeah, so we've got wooden furniture on this thing in its most standard and basic form, which is pretty cool. You can, of course, make it look like the real-world AR-180/AR-18 with all the polymer and all that sort of junk. But for me, there's a surprisingly large amount of wooden furniture in here, so thank you, Degenerate Dak. I absolutely love that. And yeah, it is just a good-looking gun with lots of great details on it. I do like that it does look a little bit beaten up because, I mean, hey, we are in the post-apocalypse here. It's got some spots of rust everywhere, but still with, it's some nice little imprinted bits, and I still don't know why it keeps going. Even the mod keeps going back and forth between AR-18 and AR-180. The mod page, of course, says Police Carbine, Armalite, AR-180. But that's the civilian semi-automatic version. This is clearly the full auto AR-18 version, but I mean, hey, it just kind of bounces back and forth, I guess. Granted, in this most basic and standard form, with the standard receiver, it is going to be semi-automatic, so technically the AR-180. But overall, it is still just a good-looking gun that I very much have been enjoying my time with, and I'd love that the wooden foregrip on this thing looks like it's not even nailed or screwed. It looks like they just fitted the pieces of wood together, which is kind of neat. I like that. Some just good old carpentry joining. Cool. Now, as for how you get your hands on one of these lovely weapons, it's actually pretty darn simple. You'll start finding them in the world at level 18 on Raiders, Brotherhood of Steel, Gunners, and in stores. So you will have to wait a little bit to get one, but thankfully not too long. Though if you do want one right away, there is one singular unique variant of this weapon out there in the world that you can physically find. So you can go ahead and do that. But with the gun in hand, you have quite a number of attachments. There are over 70 different modifications you can add on to this gun. So you've got a lot of options, from turning this thing into just a standard assault rifle, to a support light machine gun, to a sniper rifle, etc. Whatever your playstyle is, you can probably do it. So let's take a look in here. First, the receiver category, where we've got the pretty typical stuff, starting with the semi-automatic receivers up at the top bit here, and then moving into the automatic receivers down here of a number of different varieties. Most powerful automatic receiver being 38 damage, and the most powerful semi-automatic being 59, and as usual, that's with this character having no additional perks helping out that damage. Now then, the barrel category, we've got a makeshift one, a short, a long barrel, love all that wood, the short light barrel if you want the more actual look of an AR-18, the long light barrel, and actually I think my favorite is the support barrel here. This thing looks pretty sweet. It's a pretty nice looking barrel. And then in the stock category, we've got either a no stock, a makeshift stock, full stock, light stock, recoil compensating, marksman, and support. Again, loving all that wood. Ah, beautiful. Magazines, we've got a standard, a medium, and a large magazine with quick eject versions of each, as well as a drum magazine if you're really wanting a whole lot of ammo with one of those automatic receivers. Now in the sights category, we've got a standard, glow, hollow, reflex, laser, combat sight, and then a short, medium, and long scope. And of course, you can get yourself a night vision or a thermal there as well if you put some extra points into science. Now then, the muzzle, we've got, again, pretty standard stuff here of different compensators, muzzle brakes, and suppressors of both the makeshift as well as non-makeshift varieties here, and even a bayonet if you desire to put one of those on there. Then the foregrips, we've got a makeshift, a just normal foregrip, and a light foregrip there. I kind of find these a little bit awkward, I will admit, just aesthetically. I don't know, I personally don't think I've ever seen an AR-18 with a foregrip before, and it kind of weirds me out a little. But hey, if you want that improved action point cost, have at it. And then we have the accessory category where we can have either nothing, a flashlight, a recon laser, or a VATS targeting module. And then finally we have the grip category with either a makeshift, standard, light, and marksman. And I do love that out of all the different parts that also change up aesthetics on this thing, I think we have more wood than polymer, and that makes me happy. It makes me very happy. I know, a lot of you guys have complained about my weird aesthetic, but what can I say? I love a gun that's metal and wood. I don't like all this modern stuff. But yes, that is all of our lovely modifications. So let us go ahead and grab my modified versions. I made us a nice little light machine gun here and a support marksman rifle here. So let's get those all going and take some shots at our range, starting with the standard, which as usual, I've really been forgetting to reload recently. And there we go. A decently quick-firing weapon, pretty much as quick as you can click the mouse, you will fire the gun. Easily controllable, most of its bounce is actually to the sides rather than up and down like we typically see. So it can be a little bit difficult if your enemy is at medium range, but at short range, I'd say pretty easy to keep on target. Now, of course, with various modifications, with compensators and stuff, you can really make that a lot better. But let's look at the suppressed one first here, with, again, the highest amount of damage I was able to get without any additional perks at 59. So not the most damaging thing ever. So I'd say solidly an early mid to mid-game gun, but with perks, you can, of course, bump that up. So let's take a look at this one first with our lovely scope. And there we go. Pretty good sound on the suppressed there, so, you know, not too shabby at all. And that some suppressors on some mods are, still, I'd say, too loud, and some are way too quiet, I guess. Or a bit eerie. I'd say it's a good middle ground on this one, so I've been quite enjoying it. And yeah, with the modified ones, like I said, you can really help keep this a bit more on target, even at a more rapid fire rate once you do modify it. But let's grab our light machine gun version, dealing 39 damage there with an 80 round drum magazine, heck yeah, and fire. And look at how easy that was to control. I was barely having to move the mouse at all to keep this thing on target. So yeah, once you modify it correctly, even a light machine gun like this is not difficult to keep on your enemy. So very good control on this weapon, which I think is why I've found myself enjoying it, because you guys know me, I'm not the greatest of shots in games, and having this good control here has certainly helped. So let's take a look at it in use against our typical enemy, the Deathclaw. We'll start with the sniper rifle, but of course we'll probably have to end him with the machine gun there. And bring him in. There we are. Lovely. Get into my cheese spot and fire. Oh, got him in the tail. Not a great shot. And I've missed the next two. Oh, how dare you slide? Alright, we got a good few shots on him. Let's at least empty this magazine before we switch to the machine gun. Oh, there we go. And there we are. So with one full mag of 20 rounds, we got him about a fourth of the damage down, which isn't too shabby, especially with my horrible shooting. So let's get out the machine gun. Bring it, Deathclaw! And, oh, yep, he's melting. He's melting. Perfect. We did end up using all 80, but I probably could have stopped a few rounds before the end of that drum magazine. But in the end, we brought him down. Yeah, I honestly think this is a light machine gun. It's my personal favorite of the varieties that you can make this gun into. And it's very enjoyable. It is very, very enjoyable. So yeah, if you would like to have a look at this gun yourself, which I would certainly recommend you go and do, because it is fun. You can take a look at the link in the description as per usual there. Go have a look at it. It is an entertaining gun and a nice little slice of history, and I do love the different modifications that are on this thing. Again, Degenerate DAC did a great job, as usual. I always love Degenerate DAC mods. They are fun ones. But yes, hopefully you have enjoyed this mod here today, and you do come back for whatever it is that we do have a look at next. But until that time, thank you for watching, and as always, you'll have a good one.